we're almost expecting.
Ooh,
we're actually seeing the Sonic, and we're locking in to game number 1.
Omega having a weird tournament, losing to Tope and winners, and having to play a couple of hard sets to even make it to this point, going game 5 with Sakana.
That's it. So a little bit of an uncharacteristic run then for Omega.
Yeah, usually he's very consistent in this region. So it's rare to see a loss like that for him. However, even on a bad tournament, he makes it to top 8. The dude is just so good.
Yeah, an extremely talented player, but we are still just trying to get some advantage. And right now, Omega has been taking a lot of percent early. The Arsene's already almost gone.
Oh, no!
But what a reversal. Holy.
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Cheater. Cheater. That's
Yeah.
all I'm going to say. Cheater.
Wow, I wish I had a friend like Arsene.
Don't we all? Someone who has your back unconditionally. But that has to sting a little bit if you're Sonido, but I feel like even at this level of play, you have to have an extremely short-term memory, even for things like that.
Yeah, you just have to put it behind you. There's no point in dwelling on it. But fundamentally, this hurts Sonic because his only strength, or his only weakness is when he doesn't have a lead. That's a great call out on the spot dodge, though.
I will say there is one thing that hopefully you can agree to. Out of all the Sonics, Sonido tries his darndest to play Sonic the way God intended by running you down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sonido takes pride in playing in the game.
It's like, I refuse to sit idly. I am going to run you. Now, that's not to say Sonido will absolutely grind the clock to dust if they need to.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the guy play at majors. All that goes out the window as soon as he's playing a top player at a major.
But in region, no. We're going to play Sonic the way Sonic should be played.
And having a lot of experience rushing down opponents is actually pretty useful in this matchup because it's one of the only matchups where running away doesn't really get you that far. Joker's just so fast and has really good burst options like that dash attack. He can actually chase spin dash all the way into the corner and then punish it.
That was a pretty good intercept right there on the back air for that spin dash, but right now it just feels like Sonido is having so much trouble connecting.
That's tough.
That counter is just brutal on the side of Omega.
That looks like a Rivals parry almost.
Yeah, almost. But now it just feels like Sonido does have to start abandoning some of those risks with how dominating Omega is once they get any advantage. I mean, I'm sure you know this, especially playing Omega so much, but holy momentum player.
Yeah.
Like, when Omega gets going,
It feels hopeless.
yeah, it's so hard to stop the bleeding.
Like, why am I even playing this game? Like, what's the point?
At that, basically, you start losing stocks. You're just like, okay, yep, run it back. Like,
Yeah.
let's go back.
Yeah. The nice thing about Sonic is that he is a character that's very powerful at resetting momentum if he wants to, but
Oh, yeah.
Sonido's a player who rarely wants to. So it depends if he's willing to do that or not.
And right now, it just feels like I was about to say the confirms are just a hair too short, but there I go opening my mouth, and immediately the opposite happens.
Sonido's doing a great job at not letting Omega stocks get too far, and that's an essential skill to have as a Sonic player. I think it's one of the it's one of the things that top Sonic players can do, because you watch them play and you're like, it's so easy. Like, why don't I just do this? And then you play him, and they live till 150. And it's like, oh, okay. But Sonido's just one of those players where that makes it look effortless getting those stocks.
Yeah, I think that discipline to make the most of your advantage and carry hits, oh, very deadly.
Omega with Arsene, but maybe Sonido can make something happen here, just letting him go to platform. I think people let Omega get away with that way too much in general. Just that double jump from corner, they're just so scared of Arsene.
The Arsene already gone, but it still feels pretty daunting for Sonido to get back to the ground. 142 to 112. Any straight hit, if that back air connects from Sonic, Omega's in a ton of trouble.
Both of these characters can't have troubles with killing. We're going to see it here. Omega unable to secure that stock. Not it yet, though. So close. And that's a great up B high to get over the spring. No.
Still living at 162?
Oh, I love the fake jump idea from Omega there. That's such a good idea. If he went for drag down up air, he would have had the stock. But going for the forward air instead. Now he's in a weird situation. Oh, everyone's just missing.
But that back air finally does it. 144 for Omega. And it's just that discipline from these top level players.
Yeah, he got 2 early stocks and it was still close. That's something to worry about if you're Omega. But Sonido playing really well, but Omega is just, he's so good at converting on one straight hit.
Yep.
He just moves so much faster than most other people, it feels like.
Oh, no, for sure. I think it is an extremely integral part of how they're playing. What I do want to see is, I'm interested to just see the adaptations from both sides. You know, we talked about the burden of winning game 1, but with Omega being such a momentum-driven player, I wonder if those adaptations have to be even one step further just to counteract that tide that Omega brings with him.
Oh, yeah. Also, one thing about playing Omega is when I would play him, even if the game was going really poorly, I'd be like, okay, just take the stock and then we can go next. Because he's just such a momentum-based player that getting that stock, that momentum carries into the next game. Like, if you just let him run him over, that stock, weird.
Ooh.
If you just let him run you over for the whole game, then he'll just keep doing that next game. But if you can get a stock, if you can make it difficult for him to win the game like Sonido did, then maybe you can come into this game too looking better. And Sonido's showing that off right now. Oh, no.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. So Sonido causing major disruption, but being a momentum player, it goes 2 ways.
Yeah. And Omega has that momentum player problem of just overextending sometimes. So truly, he'll die in baffling ways. Way more rare than the Roy's will, because Roy's recovery is so terrible, but it'll still happen to him sometimes. And that was one prime example.
Yeah, okay, Omega does finally close out the stock, but I can pretty confidently say that's probably our last Arsene for a good bit.
Yeah, he'll have to live to like 150 to get another one. And there's a good shot of that happening, but he only gets 1 more and he has to take 2 stocks.
Yeah, and I think this is around the time you were playing, there was an adage that there is a very stark difference between Omega with Arsene and Omega without Arsene. It's not as extreme anymore, but it's still very evident.
Oh, yeah. Omega with Arsene would become a completely degenerate player. Just 50 million downers on the platform, and they'll like dash attack into the corner. He just gets so greedy for the kill. He's definitely more disciplined now, but there is still a difference in that game plan that you'll see. Oh, but that was a great F tilt. And now you got to be careful here. I wish Sonido would have waited on that Angel platform to stall out Arsene a little bit, but
yeah.
This is the last one that he's getting. You can't let him kill you with it.
And that is something I think that I saw you do a good bit when I used to commentate your sets with Omega is when he would have Arsene, you would basically
Oh,
use
no,
the
no
entire
jump, no
duration.
jump. He's got to watch out here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, go down. Oh, he didn't get the back here. That would have been stock.
Is able to put Sonido into a dire situation. 94, and Omega is driving.
Oh.
It's basically been untouched for this
Oh my God,
entire
Sonido's
stock.
panicking. All right, he's going to get that spin dash in, which is going to let him regroup a little bit. But, wow, he gets away with the neutral get up. You usually never want to do that against Sonic at these percents because that F tilt's so powerful.
And Sonic.
Can he do it again?
Oh, man.
Gets off ledge again. Oh, that's up smash. No way Omega just won that. He's a wizard in disadvantage.
What did we just witness? A set that we thought was etched in stone and over. Omega finds a way to win on his last stock.
That's genuinely unbelievable. That's walking a tightrope over a canyon right there. It is so difficult to get away with those options. And definitely a little bit of hesitancy from Sonido, but all the credit has to go to Omega there for creating that hesitancy and giving Sonido something to second guess himself about. Because that should always be an F tilt on that neutral get up. But Omega just creating fear.
And here it comes, the tide that rises with Omega after that absolutely dominating performance last game. Omega is out the gate stronger than ever.
Yeah, if you're Sonido here, you're just playing to survive this first stock. Maybe go into the next stock even or something. Because Omega, if he wins that, he's got so much momentum. Like, you can't just keep fighting him straight on. You've got to take your time here.
And I'm guessing this is the situation where you were saying, just get the stock, just get the stock.
Yeah, you just, because Arsene's about to be online. You're already at kill percent. Whoa!
And there's the stock that Sonido needed to stem the tide.
That was incredible. That was an incredible find by Sonido there. That is so difficult to make happen. First, you've just got to have the balls to go off stage versus Joker when you know he's about to get Arsene. That's such a difficult decision to make. And then calling out the double jump there. Even if he like air dodges it, you're out of resources. You're dead.
Okay. Omega has evened it up at 2 apiece, but with Arsene online, Sonido has a couple of interesting decisions that he has to make.
Yeah, do you camp him or do you go in? He's not going to get much of a decision at this point as he finds himself in the corner. Great reversal though. Sonido's been doing a great job overall of finding reversals. Omega definitely likes swinging at that ledge a lot. Sonido just very attuned to Omega's tempo, able to find the slightest openings in that pressure.
Yeah, and it's the cadence of Omega's offense almost that Sonido has gotten so used to, but still racking up tons of damage. Omega halfway to that Arsene gauge, but still just slowly whittling down Sonido brick by brick. And wow, actually almost got away from that.
Oh, now he's... Sonido is now stalling out his springs to wait for Omega stalling out his springs. Messes it up there though. Oh, that should have been stuck! Omega just barely missing everything. Sonido, by pixels, getting to hang on to the stock. Oh,
Arsene online again for Omega, and this is terrifying if you're Sonido.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just, you don't get to do anything. Once again, fighting Arsene.
I was going to say, I really wish we would see Sonido wait on the Angel Plat a little bit more just to burn that Arsene timer. But I understand wanting to just get back into the fray.
Yeah. Omega is so good at avoiding that spring. After years of playing Sonido and Wrath, it makes sense, but wow, it's amazing to watch him do it because it's really hard for Joker. Omega makes it look so easy. Oh no. Oh no.
No way.
Well, he gets to a footstool. That's going to save Sonido.
The back throw connects, and Omega with a renewed chance.
That's definitely a theme that I see with these momentum-based players like Cole and Omega is that they'll drop like some off-stage sequence, and then they'll just like immediately swing or like F-smash or choose a powerful option once they're back on stage. And Sonido just catching on to it right there. He's got a lot of percent to make up here though, especially since Omega's going to get that counter in.
Probably about 40% we should see the Arsene come online for Omega, so maybe the next large hit.
Yeah, this is difficult. You're going to have to at least survive an Arsene here. I like Sonido playing it a little more relaxed, a little more bait and punishy. But Omega has gotten much better at using people playing bait and punish against him to force them into the corner. He'll just walk forward a little bit, and then his opponent will walk back a little bit, and they'll just keep on doing that until all of a sudden their opponent finds themselves in the corner with no options.
There it is, the fair connects. Sonido has been knocked out of the bracket, and Omega advances on.
At 7th place. That's a tough placement for Sonido, but it's a tough bracket. That'll happen a lot here in Georgia.
Yeah, it's a good run overall, but we have Vivid stepping up to play right now. I will have to take a quick second to go. I will leave you guys here with Teaser.
Awesome. So let's pull up the bracket here. Let's see who we got coming up next. Looks like we got Vendetta and Vivid. These guys play a surprising amount for how little Vendetta goes to tournaments. I think they grind together a lot, so they're very familiar with each other's playstyles. Ken Toonley can be a very annoying matchup a lot of the time for Ken, because catching Toon Link is very difficult, and he's a little floaty, so he can air dodge out a lot of the combos. But again, these two play each other a lot. At that point, it's a player versus player matchup, so I'm very excited to see what we got going on here. $1,500 pot bonus, and these guys are playing for 5th place, which means that big bucks at this point. This is a big set, couple $100 on the line. Hope y'all are enjoying the stream. We are at Splendor Contenders 2, regional in Atlanta, Georgia. Currently we have Cola and Didi in winners, and we have Spickles versus Omega in losers, and currently we are about to start